Thank you so much for coming this evening. My name is Dana Swarbrick, and I've just completed my PhD at the University of Oslo. And thank you. And I'm a singer, songwriter, scientist, and I come from Canada. And back in Canada, I was studying music cognition, which is like the psychology and neuroscience of music. And during these studies, I learned about some research which shows that when people move in the same way at the same time together, that this promotes social bonding, people like each other more, they trust each other more, and they cooperate better together. And so this got me thinking, given that concerts are these events in which groups of people gather to listen to the same music or the same rhythmic stimulus, is it possible that concerts are venues for social bonding? This was the question that I sought to answer during my PhD at Ritmo, which you've heard a bit about already. Now, in order to do this, I examined both motion and emotions at concerts, and I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the theories of emotion. So theories of emotion often encapsulate things like what causes emotions, what evokes emotions, what's the purpose behind emotions. And one theory is that emotions are what happen when you interpret the body's feelings or physiology. So, for example, you could have a racing heart, and you could interpret that as anxiety, or you could also interpret that as excitement. And I remember so vividly this one experience that I had that inspired the next song, in which I really noticed that the timing of my feelings, it led to an emotion as opposed to, the other theories of emotion. And this happened when I was on a bike tour and I had ridden up through this beautiful lush green forest, all uphill one afternoon, camped at the top. And then the next morning I had this the longest downhill I've ever had, and it was switchbacks and it was just beautiful, but it was kind of hard to see in this dense, beautiful, lush forest, so I had to take my sunglasses off. And the wind was like whipping me in the eyes. But overall, I was so joyful. But then tears started to well in my eyes, and all of a sudden, one just poured over out of my eye, and I was overcome with this profound sadness. And the thought that popped into my head was, why would anyone want to cut down a forest?